Today we're going to be painting a landscape from Pinnacles National Park, and like with my other landscapes, I've just cut a 9x12 watercolor sheet in half to get this size of watercolor paper, and then I've just taped down the edges to help my paper stay more flat, and it also makes a nice white border around the painting when I'm done. So we're going to start off by just sketching out a simple outline, which will make it a little bit easier for when we start painting. So I'm going to start off by coming down just a little ways from the top corner of my paper, and I'm going to draw a curved line down, and then I am going to draw a little jagged line down, and then about the middle of that jagged line I'm going to do a beeline right here for some trees, and then I'm going to go up and draw a hill. And then we have some mountains in the background. And then we have some more rocks here. So you can just draw little rectangles and shapes like this. And we have some more trees down here. And then we have this little grassy area up here, and we have a tree right here. Alright, so here is my sketch outline. It might look a little bit odd right now, but once we start painting, it'll make more sense. So I'm going to start off by painting the little grassy patch right here. So I'm going to take some sap green, and I'm going to mix it with some yellow to get more of like a lime green. I just fill in this area right here. And then I am going to take a darker green mix. So just mixing green with a little bit of dark brown. And I'm going to paint the trees right here. You can go a little bit beyond your outline and have a little bumpy edge to it right here. You want to make sure that this little green patch is dry before you do this, just so that the colors don't blend together. And I'm going to just use this to fill in all the areas that I have trees. Alright, and I know that this looks a little bit patchy right now, but that's alright because we'll be going over it with some more texture later. So I'm going to be taking some light blue, and I'm going to paint this mountain in the background. So I'm going to just do a line at the edge because the edge is darker than the rest of it. So I'm going to just let that dry for a little bit before I go in with a slightly lighter mix. So I'm just going to add some water to the paint, and then I am going to take some more of that lemon yellow and sap green mix that we used before, and we'll paint the hill. And I'm also going to use this color for this section back here. And then now I'm going to take my brush with a darker mix of the greens that I used for the trees over here, and I'm going to just dab a little bit more texture on them. Now I'm going to take a little bit of sap green just by itself, and I'm going to dab a little bit on this green spot right here for some little bushes or grasses growing. And then I'm going to take some burnt sienna, and I'm going to use this to paint these rocks back here. And then I am going to take my larger brush, and I'm going to put some burnt sienna over all of these rocks right here. And then I'm also going to be taking some sap green with my liner brush and dabbing some trees along this hill right here. Alright, and then I'm going to take a little bit of gray and I'm going to just paint on the mountains over here. And then I'm going to go over these rocks with another layer of burnt sienna. You don't have to paint in all the spots though, just kind of give a little bit of shadow and texture to these. And then I'm going to take my liner brush and I'm going to take some sepia, which is a dark brown. And I am going to go over all of the little lines that I have drawn here on the rocks. And then I'm also going to add some shadows to this section of rock that's back here. And then I'm going to take my detail brush with some more sepia. I'm going to just outline these trees, just add some branches. And then I'm going to take some dark green and then just really carefully dab some leaf texture on the trees. And then now I am going to just alternate between burnt sienna and sepia. And I'm going to just work my way through each of the rocks, just adding shadows and just more color to them. And then I'm going to take my round brush with a little bit of blue and I'm going to paint this at the top, the sky, and then I'm going to just blend it down like I normally do. And then I'm going to add some shadows to this mountain in the background. So I just used some sap green mixed with black for the mountain back here, and you can go ahead and make any other final adjustments that you'd like to make, and then you can remove your tape and then you have your finished landscape. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You can go ahead and comment below if you've ever visited Pinnacles National Park. I'd love to know, and go ahead and comment below with the national park that you'd like me to paint next.